typically you would install Crumble on top of the board and you would expect Crumble to turn these existing cards into deals. So that doesn't work like this. So therefore, before we start with the Crumble installation, I wanted to show you what makes a ton of sense, which is installing the export power up from our good friends at Blue Cat. And what this power up will allow you to do is to export information in a CSV format. Because as a matter of fact, when you are on a free Trello account, the only way you have to export your board data is into a JSON file. And that is unfortunately not accepted in Crumble to import. So we can use this. I'm going to just check the different lists on my board. So I want the export by Blue Cat power up to export the cards, the information of the cards that are living on this lists here. So once that's done, I can go ahead and just click on download CSV. It just takes less than a second and you have it here. So this is my downloaded file, lead CRM, and 1 in brackets. Okay, keep that in mind. All it takes is you click on add and you wait for Crumble to ask you if you want to pick an existing Crumble team. I created already some for other testings, but I want to create a Crumble team from scratch. And I'm going to call this my new Crumble team. Why not? And I can continue. Okay, now I can pick one of the templates. What these templates are going to do is add some predefined touch points that make sense with these use cases. This time, I want to keep it simple. I'm going to start from scratch. Although Crumble will install a minimum number of lists, you will see that in a second. I'm going to click on Start from Scratch, and let Crumble do its thing. And once everything is installed, it takes just a few seconds. We get this message. So all it takes now is to reload the page, refresh the page. So I'm going to click here, the refresh button. And now I can close this window. And now Crumble is installed. So as I said, we have this list created. I can get rid of these lists. I don't need those. I want to keep mine. I'll archive this list. The same goes for this one. Archive this list. So these 3 dots here in the header of the list will unfold some options that apply to the list. You can move a list from one board to another. You can sort the cards inside the list, so on and so forth. So I'm going to archive the rest of the list. And now I'm going to make sure that I start with a clean install. So as you see, I have no dashboard information because I have no deal. Although I have cards, these cards mean nothing to Crumble. You need to create a relation between, you need to link Crumble contacts to the cards in order for these to become deals. If I click on reports, the same, no reports. If I click on companies, well, I have a few companies that have been created when I installed Crumble. So these are some pre-defined companies. I'm going to get rid of those. Therefore, we can go and switch over to the table view, select all the companies, and by clicking on the actions button, click on delete. Because this is a destructive operation, we ask the user to make sure that this is really what you want to do. And if I jump over to contacts, I have a couple of duplicated contacts to show you how duplicate management work, but I'm going to get rid of those contacts as well to start with a fresh install. Okay, so delete contacts. Okay, now I have a fresh install. No deals, no contacts, no companies. I haven't connected any email address yet, no reports, no dashboard, nothing, but I have cards on my board. Okay, so how do I turn these cards into deals? So I'm going to use the following process. I would start importing companies first. Why? Because in my use case, in my example here, the cards are titled with a company. So although I have in the description the name of a contact, it looks like this board is very company centric or focused, for a better word. So I'm going to start importing companies first. And you will see why in a second. So I'm going to click on import. I will browse the file and I will pick the file I just exported. The card name just includes, in my case, the name of the company. So I'm going to just map this and nothing else. I'm going to click on continue and I get a summary of what is about to be imported into Crmble. So I click on create companies. Okay, there we go. If I switch over to the company card view, you'll see that there are no contacts linked to the company. In fact, I have no contacts at all. So companies and contacts are separated independent databases that I can connect through the company name inside the contacts. And therefore, if you now click on import contacts, using the same exported file, what we achieve by doing the correct mapping, I will create a contact using, again, the card name. I will be able to adjust the contact details later. You will see that in a second. And this is the important step, I'm going also to map the same string, the same information to the company field. And this will automatically establish a relation between every contact created and the company. I'm going to click on continue. And again, I get this summary. In this case, Crmble tells me that I'm about to import 30 contacts. So I will click on import contacts. And there we go. Okay, so now I have contacts which are related with companies. So the only thing lacking now is I still have no deals. And this is because I haven't established any relation between these cards and contacts. I'm going to do it very quickly here. All it takes is you open the card. By the way, in order to connect all your cards, all it takes is to click here on Add to Crmble Lists. And now as a result, all the lists that are on my board have been connected here to Crmble. What I want to do, on the other hand, is to check these boxes so that I can report on what is going on these lists inside of Crmble. So one by one. Okay, perfect. So now my lists on the board are connected with Crmble. I can also edit these lists and I can give it a little bit of color. Okay, so now all the lists left to right are part of my funnel, top to bottom. And now what I can do is open one card after the other and pick a contact. Okay, so this card is Amazon. I can search for Amazon because I already imported contacts. I can pick it from my address book, and now I have established the relation between a contact and a card, and therefore I can see this is now a deal because I have this contact icon badge in front of the card. In fact, if I switch over to Crmble and I click on deals, I see that this deal has been created. And if I go to reports, I get no report. I have one deal, which is living on the new leads stage. And the dashboard, which focuses on one deals, shows me nothing because I haven't marked any deal as one yet. Okay, so all I have to do now is one after the other, follow the same process, pick a contact. In this case, it's Alphabet. Close the card. Okay, almost done. I would say it took me around 5 minutes to do this. Might look a little bit tedious, but it pays out. Now you have a correct relation between contacts and companies and cards, and therefore you will have access to some out-of-the-box reports inside of Crmble. And more importantly, if you ever need to look or follow up on some sort of job with these contacts, they are already there and created. So the next thing I will do after establishing this connection between contacts and cards is first obviously check if this all shows up correctly in Crmble. Let me double check. So all the cards are now deals. And I can now open Crmble. And if I head over to reports, I already see that Crmble is telling me how many cards are living on each stage. If I want to look at this in percentages, I can do it. I can see the conversion rate from one stage to another, how many cards made it from one stage to another, from stage 1 to stage 2, from stage 2 to stage 3, and so on. Let me show you first how you can finish adjusting the information of your contacts. So you can, in order to group your contacts, you can use the role field. So let's say this is a supplier, and instead of, because this contact is already related with Amazon, it is better to add the name of the person you deal with. Once you have changed your contact, it will remain there. You can keep on adding contact details. I can also add a deal value, add 10,000 deal value. If I go back to Crmble, you'll see that in the reports, I already have a total amount of 10,000 because I just added the deal value to one of the 29 deals I'm dealing with on this board. Okay, so now that we have turned all the cards into deals, there's another way to look at your cards. So in real time, you have any change you do, any piece of information you add to the deal cards will show up here in form of a row in a spreadsheet. You can export your deals to feed external reports you might app on Google Sheets or Excel. By using the export options here under the Actions button, you can export to CSV or Excel. You can import new deals. You can import new contacts. And the nice thing about Crmble is if you head over to your Crmble team area, which is here by clicking on your Trello avatar on the bottom left corner. At the moment, there is just one board, but you can keep on adding different boards for different purposes. Well, I hope this has helped you get a better view how Crmble works, how to turn existing cards into deals, how to establish the correct connection between companies and contacts. And well, this is a good starting point. And I think in less than, I would say 20 minutes, if you know the steps, thanks to this type of workshop videos, you are able to start working in a much better way with your with Trello as a CRM tool, thanks to Crmble. Okay, thank you. See you in the next workshop.